This is Christopher Moldong of Chris's Storytelling Corner. Today, I'm going to do a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 23 and 24. Next time, I'll have a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 25 and 26, and a movie review for Incredibles 2. Check out my Twitter page and author's Facebook page. Links to all these will be provided on the description. I'd really like to hear from you guys as well, so leave any comments, and make sure to subscribe and share this channel as well. So the way that this is going to work is that I'm going to give a detailed recap of volume 23 of Skip Beat and then give my thoughts on the volume and do the same for volume 24. So let's get right to it with volume 23 of Skip Beat. The volume begins with Kyoko getting pushed down the stairs and she rolls on the stairs and lands on the floor. Chiori is concerned that she was seen by Kyoko. Kyoko picks up a piece of paper with angry writing from Chiori. Kyoko, who is now Natsu, who, when she's Natsu, I'll address her as Natsu, because that's kind of who she is at that moment. Tells the Bridget Rock member that she's like walking with, Mr. Hikaru, that she saw her face and is going to have so much fun with this. Natsu tells Mr. Hikaru to keep this a secret, and he finds her to be awfully sexy. Wonder what Mr. Hikaru's thinking right now. But Natsu becomes Kyoko again and feels a pain in her right hand/wrist. The next day, Natsu informs the director that she hurt her hand falling down the stairs. Natsu says that she's surrounded by girls who can be her right hand and do whatever she wants. It's revealed by the director that Kiori is the only one who stays with Natsu to the end. Natsu chooses Yumiko, who's played by Chiori, to be her right hand. The director tells Natsu that Kyoria is her right hand. Natsu tells him that Kyoria is her right arm. She's not some cheap right hand, a gopher, something she can toss away when it gets dirty. The scene involves the first time that Natsu's group picks on Chitose. The bullying scene isn't scripted. So the director tells Natsu that she must be the leader and bully Chitose so the audience is scared, like when they watched Mio and Dark Moon. Natsu tells him that she'll be the star. They do the bullying scene, and Natsu tells Yumika to bully Chitose. She threatens her with the piece of paper that she picked up that Cherry wrote in. Natsu tells her that if she wants it, then bully that girl and make her enjoy it. Um, Natsu will even do a dogeza and apologize to Yumika. We're shown Yumika looking kind of scary, actually, and Natsu says, now level 5 Yumika. Yumika bullies Chitose by pretty much waterboarding her with her knee pressed against her back on a table while she pours water into her mouth. Yumika keeps out the bullying, but Natsu isn't completely satisfied, so Yumika then threatens Chitose with nail polish instead of water, and then she threatens her with a candle, which suggests she's gonna burn her. Chitose tells the director to stop and feels that they'll really kill her. The whole staff is frightened, and the director is finally convinced to stop. The director looks at Natsu, and she has a smile of complete ecstasy. Natsu then compliments Yumika. Rumi comes to the set, who's the main star of the Box R, and wants to watch the scene, but the staff stops her because they feel the scene will scare her. After the scene, Natsu and Yumika sit in the room in silence. Elsewhere, Kaori reveals that Kyoko wasn't acting. She was living that moment as Natsu. Chiori leaves the room and talks with the director. He compliments her acting. He tells her that he just assumed that she's just accepted the job so she could return to TV, which gives a befuddled look to one of the crew members. The director and Chiori then talk alone. He reveals that he's drinking buddies with Okuya, who's the director of The Scarlet Dice, which she starred in, if I'm not mistaken, or was one of the main characters. Okuya has been following her career all this time, and he feels that Chiori's good enough now that it won't crush her to be back on TV. Um, Kyoko finds Chiori sitting alone, and Chiori suddenly starts crying. Miss Yanagiori's manager tells the director to tone down the bullying scene. So, Miss Yanagiori is Chitose's manager, tells the director to tone down the bullying scenes, but the director rejects the request. Kyoko attempts to apologize and perform a degeza, but Chiori tells her that she doesn't want a winner like her apologizing. Kyoko then thanks Chiori, which gets Chiori angry. Kyoko admits that there was somebody completely different in her heart and she felt joyful. She says to Chiori that she pulled that sensation out of her, but Chiori tells her that the sensation she felt was her own skill. Kyoko says that Natsu was born, and it was the first time a character's emotions gushed out naturally. Kyoko insists that Chiori triggered it. It's revealed that Chiori, though, had no intention of acting for real. Kyoko gives Chiori the piece of paper. She admits that she was bound by Mio's shadow, but can't pretend that Mio was never hers. Chiori appears to be content with everything. Elsewhere, Kyoko talks with Mr. Hikaru of Bridge Rock. She tells him that the director told Chitose that her acting was as good as the leads, and it lit a fire in her heart. Chitose told Chiori not to go easy on her. It's revealed that Chiori played a shocking character named Akari, and she changed her stage name to get rid of Akari. Kyoko senses someone wearing the Love Me uniform and thinks it's Moko. However, it's Miss Chiori Amamiya, so Chiori is now a Love Me member. Mr. Sarara tells everyone, so we're pretty much on the next day. Mr. Sarara tells everyone that it's a season when many people get carried away, and President Lori is excited that it's spring. Moko is shown talking with another actor, and it's still February. She's told that every February the president gets giddy. The actor says that that man, the president, truly adores love. He warns Moko that if the president gets a hold of her, he'll ask her a certain question. She has to want to give somebody a gift, or the president won't be fooled. Miss Kotanami is not happy about this, and not happy about Valentine's Day in general. We're then shown Kyoko walking down the street, very unhappy about Valentine's Day. Someone calls Kyoko, but there's no caller ID, and the person hangs up. She gets another call, and then senses something evil. Reino from Vigo appears. He tells Kyoko that she promised to give him chocolates for Valentine's. Kyoko tells him that there's no way that's going to happen, and he tells her that Valentine's Day is a day guys get chocolates from girls they like. Kyoko ignores what he said and contradicts him. He tells him that she won't give him chocolates because she doesn't like him. But Reino says that's why she'll be dying to give him chocolates. It was a really comical scene of reverse odd psychology, actually. Elsewhere, Yashiro sees the immense Valentine's gifts that Ren got from viewers and crew members. Yashiro tells Ren that he'll organize getting the gifts to Ren's place, and tells Ren to head over to Fuji first. When Ren leaves, Yashiro can't stop grinning and calls himself a fool. So, I'm a fool, kind of like that, while being extremely excited. It's quite funny, actually. Yashiro says that there'll be something for him, Ren, from Kyoko. On the Dark Moon set, Kyoko is angry and mumbling to herself. Miss Momose and Miss Ohara speak with Kyoko, and the two are holding gifts for Mr. Suruga. Kyoko asks if those gifts are for Valentine's. They tell her that it's for Ren's birthday. Kyoko thought that Ren's birthday was on a different day, and at the end of the volume, it's revealed that Mr. Suruga's birthday is like that day, February 10th, and Ren looks at the shooting schedule, seeing Kyoko's name on it. So, some thoughts. Let's start with Natsu. Natsu is my favorite incarnation of Kyoko so far. She's conniving, strong, confident, very much the opposite of Kyoko. Doesn't get rattled very easily, whereas Kyoko gets rattled by like the smallest provocation. um, cool, confident, and whatnot. She's just absolutely different, like the exact opposite of Kyoko in that sense, and that makes her, in my opinion, probably like one of the best. Like, I don't know, like people that Kyoko's acted. I guess I'll just say incarnations of Kyoko that I've seen so far. I like Mio, but I do like Natsu a little better. We're shown Natsu and Chiori, they're kind of the same. At the end of the day, they're kind of the same, but their motivations are kind of different. Like Natsu is like this bad person or acts in a very evil way, even though she's not necessarily like she's a bad person, but also a normal person as well. And but she acts that way because she's bored. You know, Chiori is kind of a bad person. I mean, she did push Kyoko down the stairs, and she's a very angry person too with the whole like writing stuff and whatnot. But she's doing it to get away from who she previously was. But they're kind of like two peas in a pod in a sense. They both just have this like internal conniving, scheming type of personality. Natsu's a bit more open about it, I suppose. Whereas Chiori tries to hide it as best that she can. Chiori in that bullying scene, that was really interesting. I really liked it. I really liked how at the very end Natsu was like the whole mastermind behind everything, and Chiori was just a pawn. Once again, like Chiori's motivation, it was like to impress Natsu. You know, someone who's better than her. And even though Chiori thought she was, this great actress and whatnot, like, obviously she called Kyoko a winner. And Chiori's motivation is kind of like, I think she really wants to impress others, in a sense. Kind of impress herself, but she wants to impress others and show others something. Whereas Natsu doesn't really care what other people think. But the bullying scene, it was really well done. Chiori was quite vicious in it, and Natsu at the end, coming out, not really coming out, just kind of sitting there smiling was like all that needed to be said, and I thought it spoke of what was trying to be accomplished very well. We get to know Chiori's backstory as well. She's Akari from Scarlet Dice. Um, it's enough, really. I can't imagine like she's a Love Me member now, so I'm sure she's gonna be in it more. I don't get the impression she's like huge friends with Kyoko. Like Kyoko is like at least she thinks in her mind with Moko. I don't think they'll have that relationship. If anything, Chiori seems kind of like a third wheel in all this, as far as being a Love Me member. Um, be a bit interesting to see how Chiori interacts with the president, interacts with Moko as well. So we'll see how that goes. We keep seeing this director. He's a bit wishy-washy in a sense. It's really weird because he's just like, oh no, you have to have the bow ties, and then it's like, no, you guys look cool without the bow ties, and it's like I want the bullying scenes, and it's like, hey, it's going too far. Yeah, 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 they're going too far, and it's kind of like I don't really know if he has it all together. That's the thing. Um, we are also. It's also really interesting, like Kaori, like one of the co-stars. She's kind of there, and it it's always said it's a little too on the nose sometimes though that like Kyoko's this great actress, and someone always has to point it out. And I guess that goes to like not just Chiori but Kaori as well, where it's just like she was living Natsu, you know what I mean? And it's like, which is fine, but like we kind of, she's kind of saying what the audience more or less, I would assume, it picked up. But yeah, yes, we know that Kyoko is this awesome actress at this point, and can play Natsu, who is totally different from her. So the return of Reino. he's a weird guy. He obviously likes Kyoko romantically. I mean, that was pretty obvious. He more or less admitted it. And I guess it's going to be very interesting because, there's this whole thing with Valentine's, there's the whole thing with chocolates and whatnot. The president, Reno, I guess, wants his chocolates, and I'm going to assume that he's going to get them some way, shape, or form. Uh, Valentine's Day does not seem to be appreciated by likes of Moko and Kyoko, who are Love Me members, and this is like the day of love. So it's like, okay, um, like, um, they're gonna have to kind of get over that or figure this out. And finally, we found out it's Ren's birthday, and it doesn't look like Kyoko's got a present. And it looks like Ren likes Kyoko. So you kind of have to wonder how Ren is going to act in this situation. Um, it seems like it's going to be something of a big deal. So before we get into the next volume, I'd like to plug my author's website at www.chrismoldon.com, and you can read a new blog post on there every week. Also, do you like anime? Do you like action, adventure, fantasy, different worlds, crazy characters, superpowers gained from eating giant insects? Then buy my book, The Mustard Prince in the Convent Kingdom, for just $4.99 via ebook on Amazon.com or on my author's website. Links to buy it will be provided on the page description. So let's go on to volume 24. The volume begins with Pochi, if you remember her, who was totally in love with Sho, who was the angel with Kyoko in that one commercial, going into Sho's room and giving him a Valentine's gift. Sho has apparently received so many gifts from women talento and fans. Sho gets Pochi upset, but he takes her gift anyways. On the Dark Moon set, Kyoko apologizes to Mr. Shiruga. She somehow got the one copy of a Talento directory that had Ren's birthday wrong. Kyoko tells Ren that his birthday gift will arrive on the 13th, and she'll be able to give it to him on the 14th. So I guess she had a present in mind. We don't really know, or. She asks if he'll accept it, and he says that he will. Ren tells her that being able to see her today is a gift in itself, with that crazy smile. Kyoko is then shown lying down like a corpse somewhere as Mr. Shiruga's heavenly smile exhausted her. She admits that she's glad that she didn't get chocolates from Mr. Shiruga, and tells herself that what she's giving him on the 14th is not a Valentine's gift, but a birthday gift. She remembers that she has to make chocolates for Reina. Kyoko writes a list of people that she'll give chocolates to, and elsewhere, Ren tells Yashiro that he won't be eating any of the chocolates he was given. Kyoko, back to Kyoko, we see her Xing out, like she made these flowers, or drew a flower next to the names of every person she gave chocolates to, and she apparently X'd out the flower that is next to Mr. Shiruga's name. And elsewhere, we are on a different set. We're shown a co-star slash singer who starts to talk and annoy Moko. She tells him that his acting sucks, but he takes it as him feeling her love. Hio, who is apparently acting in this movie or whatever this is, sees this the whole time and asks Moko to have lunch with him. The co-star doesn't seem happy about this. Hio tells Moko to ignore him. They're alone, not with the co-star. He tells her that he'll stick with her when he's free because that actor seems to hate kids. And it's revealed that Hio's 12 and in 7th grade, but looks like a 2nd or 3rd grader. We're shown that Kyoko received a lot of missed calls with no caller ID. She thinks that they must have come from the Beagle, Reina. The phone rings with no caller ID, and Kyoko answers and yells to the Beagle that if he doesn't wait quietly, then she won't give him homemade chocolates, then hangs up. Moko then calls Kyoko, and Kyoko approaches Yashiro and Ren happily, like this is after she talks to Moko, and they ask her to go to lunch with them. Kyoko is going to Moko's place tomorrow, and they're thinking about making chocolates for Valentine's Day. Moko apparently called so that Kyoko can teach her how to make chocolates for Hio. Ren tells Yashiro that Kyoko didn't say anything about making chocolates for him. Ren reveals that it's better not to expect anything romantic from Kyoko. He is absolutely correct. We're shown Fuwa looking angry and looking like an ogre. Sho reveals that he'd be angry if Kyoko gave Ren chocolates like she used to give to him, but he'd be even angrier if she gave homemade chocolates to Reina. Eating with Shoko, Sho asks her why would a woman decide to give homemade chocolates to the guy she hates. Shoko responds that she probably doesn't actually hate that guy even though it looks that way. She thinks that Kyoko actually wanted to get close to him all along. And Sho is not happy about this. Reino, uh, we're shown Reino, and he's not happy, and his bandmate asks him why. Reino says that his pet is gone, and it's hiding somewhere in here in this like basement or somewhere they're in, or room, and it's pretty much a precious hostage. Reino finds it, and it turns out to be one of Kyoko's grudges. Reino apparently told Kyoko that unless she makes homemade chocolate for him, he'll make her go insane by cherishing her grudge. Kyoko makes homemade chocolate with Moko. Moko asks Kyoko who she is giving chocolate truffles to. Kyoko lists some names, but Moko notices that she did not say Mr. Suruga. Kyoko tells her that she's not making any chocolates for Mr. Suruga. Moko is confused by this and concludes that Mr. Suruga put the Princess Rosa, the little gemstone, in a rose to give to Kyoko. Moko can't help thinking that Mr. Suruga is in love with Kyoko. Moko wonders if she should tell Kyoko to give at least one truffle to Mr. Suruga. However, Kyoko leaves the next morning before Moko can mention that to her. We're shown that Sho and Shoko are headed to the Fuji TV station. And Kyoko made chocolates and put them in a box with a message that tells uh, Reino to go to hell. Yashiro tells Ren that we'll be saying goodbye to Dark Moon soon. Ren says that he will miss it. Yashiro tells Ren that his new role is even more difficult than Katsuki. They both see Kyoko, and she apparently dropped the chocolate. Uh, it's a, it was like in a box, and apparently it's a chocolate for Reino. And one piece says hate falls into view, but she grabs it away. It's kind of like frosted on top, pretty much. Like she put all these words and like a beagle's face on it on a piece of chocolate, and they're on squares. That's how it works. And Kyoko says that she got distracted. Ren tells her that he understands as she's preparing in her first quiz show, but Kyoko is dumbfounded. Ren questions if that wasn't it and gets angry. She tells her that was it and leaves quickly. Yashiro apparently saw that chocolate that said hate and assumes that Ren saw it too, as he felt that Ren was quietly raging. Kyoko drops that chocolate again, puts them in the box, and keeps walking. However, she accidentally bumps into Fuwa. Kyoko tries to run away, but Shoko grabs her by the shoulder. He asks what's in the box. When he looks inside, the message with the chocolate says, "Heart to Beagle." He then flings the box away. Sho grabs Kyoko by the arm and asks her if she likes him so much. Kyoko claims that she didn't write that. Reino and his bandmate appear, and he picked up the box with chocolates. It's kind of like crushed and smushed up. The box, at least. He's glad that's not what Kyoko wrote. Sho gets angry at Kyoko for making chocolates for Reino. Kyoko claims that she has her reasons. Reino tells Kyoko to tell Sho the truth about what went on between her and him. Sho tells Kyoko that she got caught because she's full of holes. Kyoko tells Sho that he put all those holes in her heart. Shoko intervenes and gets Sho out of there. Sho demotes Kyoko to a stupid and boring woman whose brain only thinks of love. Reino and his bandmate grin and snicker at Sho's utter misunderstanding. Reino tries to give the chocolates back to Kyoko, and even though they're smushed and wrecked, he likes them. He wants Kyoko to give him the chocolates tomorrow, which is Valentine's Day. But Kyoko tells him that she'll be on the Dark Moon set tomorrow, and if he comes to the set, she'll give him the chocolates there. However, Mr. Shuruga will be there. Um, Kyoko's tired and worn out from this whole encounter. It turns out that Reino retreated but told her to give him chocolates on Valentine's next year. Back at home, a package came from Kyoko. Kyoko prepares Mr. Shuruga's birthday gift and puts it in a box. Uh, we're then shown Shoko and Miss Aki, who are looking at Sho sitting down but looking now like a Neo statue. Or Nio statue, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's probably Nio statue. Sho told Shoko that he doesn't understand women anymore. Shoko suggests that maybe Kyoko's objective is to be in a relationship with a guy that Sho can't condone and make him angry and jealous. Sho denies that he's jealous. He is totally jealous. Shoko suggests to send Kyoko flowers and congratulate her to tell her that his scheme doesn't hurt him, or her scheme doesn't hurt him at all. Shoko tells Sho that those two are getting closer while he refuses to be honest with himself. She tells him that there still could be a chance. Yashiro sees all the chocolates that Ren has gotten. I guess it's more. Yashiro apparently got chocolates with dog plushies for some reason. Yashiro tells Ren that there's only one thing he wants to talk to him about today. Ren angrily tells him to avoid it if he's simply toying with him. Kyoko appears and gives Ren his birthday present. She tells him not to open it here as she'd be embarrassed. Kyoko then gives Yashiro's Valentine's chocolate. She then runs to give chocolates to Director Ogata but totally ignores Ren. Kyoko apparently gave chocolates to other castmates, but not Ren. Ren then gives Yashiro his gentlemanly smile, as Yashiro is kind of like, what's going on here? And at the end of the volume, Shotaro Fuwa appears carrying a huge bouquet of flowers. So, some thoughts on this volume. Valentine's Day. Here we go. Here we go. You know, this was a lot more about Kyoko and her potential love interest. All of them appeared. So, Reino, Sho, and Ren. And they were all involved in this Valentine's escapade. Um, and Kyoko got into a somewhat hilarious misunderstanding. Sho took it so far. Reino is laughing to the bank, and Ren is pretty much a bystander to all this. And you know, it, it's sad to say, but it's not. It's really hard to feel sorry for Kyoko in a sense. It's got the show kind of does have a point. You know, it's like she kind of puts herself into the situation. I understand it's shoujo manga. It got a little weird in the sense that Reino can hold the grudges and hold it hostage. It gets a little. Um, they're getting a little too loose with Kyoko's grudges and spiritual. You know, like I don't know what to call it because she's into voodoo and whatnot. Her like darkness, I suppose. I understand that you kind of need Reino to have some sort of leverage over Kyoko. I don't really know if this was the best way to do it, but that's what happened. Everything kind of turned out funny and in a huge misunderstanding. Shofua's back in the picture. came with that huge bouquet of flowers. He totally loves Kyoko. He totally gets angry beyond comprehension to the point where he becomes a Nio statue or an ogre when he thinks about Kyoko giving chocolates to other guys. And this guy obviously loves Kyoko and has one of the most unhealthy loves for a woman out there. I mean, it's really not good for him. He's they would not make a good couple. You know what I mean? It would really surprise me, even though like Shofua has been something like a deeper character than he's presented to be. But it really surprised me if Sho ever got together with Kyoko in this manga. It really would because they just don't fit whatsoever. I mean, they're just they. It's all anger, you know. It's all emotion, but it's not like good, healthy emotion. It's like jealousy, anger, envy, pity, pettiness. I mean, that's the relationship of Sho and Kyoko. It's very intense, but it's not. I don't know if you can categorize it under love. You know, Rensuru goes around. He's kind of just watching everything unfold. He got his birthday present, which is kind of cool. He did not get chocolates from Kyoko, and now he saw Shofua with a huge bouquet of flowers. Gonna be really interesting because man, one thing about Ren though, man, I gotta say, it's one of his worst traits is this guy. Kyoko's like this too, and this way he's a lot like Kyoko. Smallest provocation really gets him fired up. I mean, really, it's like, don't talk to me about the subject at hand, Yashiro. You know, it's like, geez, man, like, come on, like, he gets provoked real easy. It's like, oh, like, yeah, I understand. It's your first quiz show. And she's like, oh, what? That's not it! What's going on, Kyoko? It's like, come on, man. Like, some of this stuff's not even his business, and yet he just, like I said, like the smallest provocation, just really gets him angry. It looks like Ren's gonna go to a different role after Katsuki. We got hints of that. We keep getting hints of it, so I kind of wonder. I kind of assume it's going to be kind of a big thing. We're also shown Moko and Hio around. Very interesting relationship. I don't know what it is. I doubt there's going to have like a romantic thing here. Hio obviously has a thing for Moko, and unless Moko really is a Shotokan, um, or like Shotokan kids or what, Shota like Shota kids or whatever. Um, I think they're just gonna stay as like these good friends. Wouldn't surprise me though if there's kind of like that some sort of like last volume of Skip Beat. Hio is like 18, 19, 20, gets together with Moko or something like that. But as of right now, they're kind of just doing their own thing. Um, you know, she she'll get involved, Moko, like with the chocolates, but she won't. And she's kind of there as a friend because it's like, oh yeah, I do suspect that Mr. Suga likes Kyoko, but like she doesn't get too involved. She really is just kind of on the side at this point. And at the end of the volume, we saw a show appearing with the flowers. Ren Suruga's there, Yashiro's there. Misunderstandings are why Sho is there. So expect some fireworks for the next volume. So that's all for today. If you like this, don't forget to subscribe, share, and comment to this channel. Thank you for listening to this manga review. Next time, I will have a manga review for Skip Beat Volumes 25 and 26, and a movie review for Incredibles 2. Thank you, and until next time.